What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 32 of our Brentford career mode, and the last episode of season number 2 here, as we go ahead and push into our third year and our second year in the Premier League. We have two games for you. We have Burnley and Aston Villa. Aston Villa relatively close to us, though in a pretty decent spot. They're 2 points ahead of us with a game in hand. So no, I mean, if they drop points in one of their other two games and we beat them, we have a chance to finish ahead of them. We're 3 points back at Chelsea, who sit in 5th. We're not going to catch Tottenham. Everton could be only 2 points back of us with a game if they win their game in hand. So, you know, it's going to be one of those episodes where a lot of things can happen. We will see how it goes. We're going to jump into this Brentford-Burnley game here with our regular starting 11, except Guehi, I think, is going to start the last couple games here. And I think that is how we're going to go. We're going to bring Forza onto the bench because I want Bryant to go ahead and kind of finish out playing in that CDM spot for the last couple of games of the year. But let's jump into this. Brentford-Burnley. Let's go. Slide one more. Nicely done in Buemo. One more out there to Aarons. Nicely done, and Aarons can slip that back post. That's a brilliant ball from Aarons. It's Ali Seda. What a save that is. And Buemo slides it back. Can't quite get the shot off. Aaron's on it again as he picks it up, and we're going to have to recycle a little bit, but a really, really good cross and a really, really good save from the goalkeeper. Keeps Brentford level. Or not, well, yeah, I guess it does keep Brentford level, but it keeps Burnley level. Should have scored there. Sally Sada on it, and he's going to drag this forward, the pacey midfielder. He slides a brilliant ball in there to Tony, who takes a touch, and he finishes it. Quick up the pitch, and Tony scores another Premier League goal. I believe that is 46 for the season. We'll see what kind of bids we get during the offseason for him, but Ali Seda does brilliantly. Waits for the opening. The pass is perfect, and Tony, we just expect him to score those goals, and he has 18 minutes gone, and it's 1-0. And now we can play it forward. De Silva making the run from deep. He gets out there to Mbuemo, and Mbuemo's going to push into the box here. Tight angle for Mbuemo, and that effort is not great with his weak foot. Could have slid it across, perhaps. The gap was really, really tight, but he's got to do better with the shot at least. Ali Seda, one more. That's a really, really, really bad pass from Ali Seda there. Luckily, Caceres gets in the way to take it back as Jolis is on it. And Jolis plays a really good ball out there to Henry, who's going to push forward here and slips it back in. And Jolis trying to maneuver a little bit of space to Silva. Here's Bryant now. Ali Seda is moving the ball around the box here as Tony does well to escape his mark. And as Tony is 2-0. Patient play right outside the box as we go ahead and grab a 2-0 lead. Burnley moving forward. They're okay. They just can't quite find that final ball. And we were struggling there to break them down for a little bit. But it's just patient play. And what a drag back that is from Ivan Toney as he smashes it past Nick Pope. And with 20 minutes to go, we're 2-0 up. Nice take. Nice turn there by Bryant. Not the greatest ball forward. I was hoping that might stick outside. Didn't quite work that way as Khazri's on it. Henry with a good turn and a good play up the pitch. Jolis can't quite find the pass there, though, as Burnley are really pushing. And that's a brilliant ball in there. And that's going to be finished off really nicely. I thought for a moment he might have been offside. And Burnley pull one back immediately. 75 minutes gone. It's Crivelli with the goal. This is a brilliant ball in there. I thought Romero maybe could have come and got this, but I also thought he was offside. He looks offside even from there. Aarons must be playing him on. Either way, it's a really good ball in, a good finish, and with 15 minutes to go after I've made my changes, it's 2-1, and we're back in a game. Jensen. Let's run right into traffic, but Jensen luckily gets it back. Force can't quite get there. A minute to go now here as Burnley been very much on top since we scored our second goal, and they're going to have a chance now one last chance as 2 minutes have been added on to go ahead and try and find themselves a goal, but they're going to need to push it forward if they want any chance of it. And here they are, Balde just turning around and moves back into midfield, and that's it. 2-1 the final. We'll take the win. It was a very tough last 15 minutes, that is for sure. But a very tight game, as you can see, 6 shots total. We happened to score 2. They scored on their 1 shot, but they were very much a threat the last couple of minutes there. They just could not find an opening, and we will take the 3 points on in our penultimate game as we go forward into our final game of the season. It will be against Aston Villa, who sit behind us. They have a game in hand here now. They can pass us up. Of course, we're only 3 back at Chelsea as well. Could we possibly be getting Europe in our first season? We may. I'm not sure how this is going to line up. Maybe 6th place, 7th place may end up getting European spots. We will have to see, but for the moment, we can at least challenge for it. Last game here against Aston Villa, who win their game in hand, so we are back behind Villa. But we were ahead of Villa when we were level, so a win over Villa in our final game here will put us back ahead of Aston Villa. We'll see what Chelsea do, but we cannot drop down to 8th, as Leicester are 5 back of us. And, of course, after this game, we're going to do our end-of-season kind of stuff, just our normal squad look at. We're also going to take a look at what transfers we may be doing next year and things like that. But as you can see, we have a better goal difference than Chelsea, a better goal difference than Aston Villa, as Chelsea play Leeds and we play Villa, of course. So there's a chance possibly that we could finish in 5th, but we're going to need a win, and we're going to need Leeds to take all 3 points off of Chelsea. It'll be difficult. Tyreek Mitchell wants to play. We're going to let him play, a player who I want to get more game time to next season. But for now, Mitchell can go ahead and jump right into the lineup. Raya, he can have a go, as this is probably his last game at the club. We're going to start Matondo ahead of Mbuemo. We're going to start Guehi. And that'll be it. So let's jump into this. Aston Villa, Brentford. Europe on the line. Let's go. Nice play across there. Here's Guehi. Slides it out there nicely. Here's Mitchell moving it forward. Slides it across here to Ali Seda, who's going to take on the defense here. Ali Seda gets that out wide nicely to Jolis, who's in a really good spot. Jolis goes for goal at the near post. And it is saved away. Good goalkeeping. As the header comes down, it's blocked. Matondo is going to keep this in play. No, he is not. Good option, or good opportunity to go ahead and possibly recycle the corner. Wasted. Ali Seda is going to push this forward. Finds Tony. And Tony can slide that through, and De Silva's on it. And De Silva, great touch. It's De Silva. It's 1-0. And we're 32 minutes in here. I believe that's the first shot of the game. Or at least one of the first shots. We had one earlier, didn't we? But not very much going on in this game so far. But De Silva makes the breakthrough here at Villa Park. And as of this moment in time, we are going to finish ahead of Aston Villa. It's a good run from him. That's a really, really good touch. And an excellent finish to go along with it from the midfielder. 33 minutes gone. We are 1-0 up. And as I said, currently finishing ahead of Aston Villa. That's a really good ball there. St. Maximin on it now. Nice take there by Aarons, but he loses out trying to play it out. That's a really good ball to Ollie Watkins. It's 1-1. Just like that, Aston Villa play it back. We couldn't get that out of there. And an excellent ball and an excellent run to Watkins there, and he makes no mistake. Tried to take it off of... I mean, he got a touch away from Maximin there, but the second touch... Well, the first touch really just couldn't get it away. Comes to Ollie Watkins here in the end. It's a good finish near post. And Aston Villa very quickly level it back up here on 40 minutes. It's 1-1. There's a lot of space I left out there for Traore. Do a good spot. Oh, what a turn that is from Traore. And he does so well to play it back in. I mean, what a turn that is from Traore. Are you kidding me? Ollie Watkins gets his second of the day. Aston Villa turn it around. 2-1. And look at this turn. That's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. We come across. Watkins gets left. And he slams it home. I mean, that is an unbelievable turn there from Traore. A very, very good turn. And unfortunately, they finish it off as well. 2-1. Nice turn. Gets it out to Bryant. And Bryant can slide that through to Tony. And he goes for the chip. Oh, he's hit the post. And it's cleared away to Matondo. And Matondo trying to find a little bit of space there. Oh, I thought we had the chip there off the post. As we go very, very close to equalizing. Wesley. Managed to get it inside there. And Wesley goes for goal. And he has sealed the game. Sealed the points. I mean, what a finish this is from Wesley. An absurd goal from the striker. It's 3-1. And that is going to see us lose on the final day. Can't quite get in front of him. And that's an absurd goal. Absolutely absurd finish there. It's 3-1 with 5 minutes to go. We were chasing it a little bit, but do not take away from how excellent that finish is. Really, really well done. And it's 3-1 here. And then Buemo wants to hit back quickly to give us a little bit of hope as that comes to Tony. Takes a touch. His shot's blocked. One more. Ali Seda here. Tackled. Bryant. Back to Ali Seda. Ali Seda just trying to maneuver a little bit of space as Mbuemo's kind of stuck on where to go. And we lose out here, but we do win it back. But this is going to be the last effort of the game as that comes into Tony, who wants one more goal perhaps, as that gets slid back in though, and Mbuemo takes it out of play. And that'll be that. 3-1, the final here at Villa Park, as Aston Villa give us a little bit of a lesson on the final day of the season. We still have a little bit to go, a long way to go, I suppose, as Chelsea beat Leeds anyway. So we do finish 7th. Whether that's good enough to go ahead and grab a Europa League spot, I do not know, but it is what it is, as Mitchell is happy to have played, and we are set to do our end-of-season stuff as we get 153 million for being in the Premier League. Our budget should go up quite a bit, you would think, going into, you know, the final, or going into next season. You would think our budget goes up quite a bit, but we're going to sim forward just a little bit. As you can see, we sit there and we finish 6 points back of Aston Villa, 6 points back of Chelsea as well. As this team here have expressed interest in signing Arthur Reed for £860,000. We're going to go ahead and let that happen. 62 overall at age 22. Just go ahead and take the money for that. We've met our target as well, increasing the club's worth within 3 seasons. That has been done. But we're just going to sim right to the beginning of July. I believe the Champions League final is probably on this day here, the 28th. But we're just going to sim right into the beginning of July just to see how it goes. As that lad's been lured away. We got a couple of scouting things going through. But I just want to get just another couple of days before we go ahead and do our final thing, because it looks like we have a couple of things to check out. Player contracts expiring. Players I'm comfortable letting go. Though Romero I would like to get for one more season. Let's go ahead and go into contract negotiations. See if we can get him back for one more year, just so we can get ourselves a young keeper to kind of bed into the team. Let's see if we can get him on rotation. He wants to be important. That's okay. It's fine. Even if he gets upset and wants to leave, it is what it is. We're going to go 1 year. That's good. Disregard release clause. He wants a 4 million. I mean, I'll just accept that. It's fine. It's not that big of a deal. Let's talk about his salary. We'll just give him what he was on. Go down to 50 though. Let's see what will happen. He's fine. 50,000. It is what it is. We got him for one more year. If somebody wants to buy him in January for $5 million, that's fine. Or maybe even during the summer. I didn't even think about that. Could that theoretically happen during the summer? As of right now, I'm not sure. Let's do our final scout reports. Nothing from Uruguay. Anything from Italy? Doesn't look like it. No, nothing from Italy either. Been kind of crappy out of there. Maybe next year we'll get some new scouts and see if we can get anything. Nothing out of England either, which doesn't really help, as interest has come from Marcel Ruiz. But yes, so let's take a look at how the squad did. Actually, we'll take a look at how the other countries did, the other leagues first, as we kind of go through here. From the championship, we'll see who's being promoted. Newcastle and Crystal Palace have been promoted. It'll be a fight between Sheffield United, Cardiff City, Bristol City, and Birmingham City to see which team comes up with us. Sheffield United, you would be the one, or you would go ahead and back to go ahead and come up there. Ligue 1, as PSG win the league by 13 points. Lyon, Monaco following, and then Lille after that. Let's go ahead and go to the Bundesliga, see what happened there. Bayern win the league by 25 points in a league that only has 34 games. That is absolutely incredible. 34 games played, 31 wins, 3 draws, no losses whatsoever. 11 draws there for Dortmund in second. A lot of losses for Leverkusen in third. Yeah, that is very much one team and the rest there, as Inter win Serie A by 1 point, beating out Juventus. Lazio and Napoli finishing third and fourth. Milan, Atalanta, Roma rounding it out at 5, 6, 7. Very top, well, I don't know about top heavy, but there are some good teams at the top there. And then we can go ahead and take a look at La Liga, see how this worked out. Real Madrid win the league by 1 point. Barcelona coming in second on 87. Real Madrid on 88, of course. Barcelona on 87, and then Atletico Madrid on 85. Very, very tight. And then Villarreal on 84 as well, before a massive gap to Sociedad, Valencia, Getafe, and Sevilla. So, not too crazy out there. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the Champions League and the Europa League as well, before we take a look at how our players did at the end here. Let's go to the Champions League and see how everything went. It's Manchester City who beat Bayern Munich out in the final 2-0. PSG go out in the semifinal. Atletico Madrid go out in the semifinal there. That is Guardiola finally gets himself one at Manchester City. And then Wolfsburg beat Manchester United in the final of the Europa League. Atalanta and Lille going out in the semifinal. So Wolfsburg and Manchester City, an English-German final in both. And then, of course, in the Premier League, we finished 7th, 6 points back of Chelsea, 6 points back of Villa. Manchester City win the league by 4 points. Liverpool a far way off of the top two, 9 points, and then Tottenham. And then Chelsea, of course, Leicester finishing down, Everton, Arsenal finishing in 10th. Is kind of their mark at the moment. West Ham, Wolves, and the 3 teams going down. Brighton, West Brom, and Bournemouth. That's a really large gap there between Watford and Brighton. A really, really, really large gap. And we'll see if the teams coming up next year can put up a better fight. As for the team, let's take a look at how everybody did in the squad this year. Romero, of course, our starter. 41 appearances, 5 clean sheets. Raya, still only 26, could grow into a good goalkeeper, you know. I just wanted a little bit surer hands in our first year, and I kind of want someone with a higher potential ceiling than Raya, so Raya should probably go in the summer. We'll see. 4 appearances for him, but we'll see on that. Rico Henry, 31 appearances, 79 overall now, a goal and 5 assists for the fullback. Currently only 24, so he should be here for a while. Him and Mitchell should be the left-back tandem for a little bit. Tyreek Mitchell now up to 74 overall, still only 22, 13 appearances, 2 assists. I want to get him more time next year. I think Rico Henry's really close to his ceiling. I think Mitchell has a long way to go still, so I want to get him more time next year. Sebastian Caceres, 22 years of age, up to 77 overall, the Uruguay player. 2 assists on 5 clean sheets. We have to work on our clean sheet record next year. We'll see how we go ahead and do that, but a very, very good player for us, and probably our #1 center back at the moment. Pinnock, 29 years of age now, up to 76 overall, 35 appearances and 4 clean sheets for him. I think Guehi's just going to be ahead of him in the pecking order next year. Whether we bring in another, I mean, we are going to bring in another center back because Jansen's leaving, but whether he's 3rd or 4th choice, it is what it is. But Guehi, I think, is ready to go ahead and jump into that spot. Jansen here, 31 years of age, 75 overall, 2 appearances for him. He is leaving for free. His contract's expiring, not worth really renewing, and we wish him the best, but he was our 4th choice all along, and he will leave and hopefully go to greener pastures for him. Guehi, 23 appearances, 21 years of age, up to 77 overall. He's passed up Pinnock now on overall, but you know, he's starting to grow quite a bit. He's still got plenty of time to grow, plenty of space to grow into as well. He looks like he's going to be obviously a very good player, and he should have that 2nd spot for him now. Dalsgaard, another player leaving for free, 32 years of age. The Dane, 9 appearances, 1 assist. A player they let go in real life, so I was just going to let him go originally. I expected to play him a little bit more this year, but ever since it came out that they were releasing him, I kind of just put that on the back burner, and he will end up leaving. But good servant for the club, and off he goes. Ingo Yamsa, the player who kind of stepped into that spot as backup right back, 67 overall now. He's 21. He's got quite a bit to grow into, the Cameroon player. But he should be our 3rd option at right back and left back, really, for the foreseeable future at least. Max Aarons, 22 years of age, 79 overall, 35 appearances, a goal and 2 assists. He's just excellent. He is just excellent. Not much more you can say. Janelle, a player who may be leaving depending on how things go. 24 years of age, 78 overall. He's grown 3 this year. 18 appearances, 2 goals, 4 assists. He's a good player. He's just behind Bryant, as I kind of want Bryant to grow into that spot. If we can keep him around next year to back up Bryant, that'll be a good thing to have. And here you can see Bryant, 39 appearances, 3 goals, 8 assists from deeper midfield, 19 years of age, 73 overall. Plenty of room to grow. He looks like he's going to be an excellent player, and we want to kind of force him into that excellent player role. Matondo, 74 overall, 21 years old, the Welshman, 35 appearances, 4 goals, 5 assists. Can play anywhere really along the front 3. We're using him mainly on the wing. But he's growing, and he played 35 games, and to have only 4 goals, 5 assists maybe doesn't look too great, but most of these came from off the bench, so not too bad. Jensen, 16 appearances, 1 goal, 3 assists. We'll see. I'd like to keep Jensen around to be behind De Silva because he's a good player. We'll see how he feels about that, obviously, but if we have to move him on, we may just end up moving him on. Ali Seda, 42 appearances, 15 goals, 19 assists from midfield. An excellent young player, 22 years of age. Should be starting in that spot. We started Pereira mostly this year to kind of just get used to the Premier League and work Ali Seda into it. And Pereira, of course, a Premier League caliber player already. But Ali Seda grew into that position and was the starter toward the end of the year, and should continue to be the starter at his age. De Silva, 39 appearances, 10 goals, 11 assists, 82 overall now, the Englishman, 23. Still plenty of room to grow. Plenty of time to grow into his prime, really. Should be starter in that spot next year. Matthias Pereira, 32 appearances, 11 goals, 10 assists, an excellent young player, 26 years of age. A player we bought in to kind of give us a little bit of Premier League quality in that midfield, and he did just that. He'll be sharing that spot with Ali Seda going forward, but an excellent buy, I feel. Marcondes, 2 appearances, got himself an assist, 27 years old, the Dane. He left in real life. Another player we're just going to let go for free. Jolis, 39 appearances, 18 goals, 11 assists. The 20-year-old Greek, 78 overall right now. A player who really grew into that left wing spot. At the beginning of the season, he was struggling a little bit, but there was a time period there where he was just scoring goals for fun. An excellent player and continuing to grow. Should be his spot next year. Tariq Fosu, 73 overall, 26 years of age. A player who will probably be leaving in the summer. I don't know if his contract expires or not. We can actually check. It is not, but a player will look to move on. We kept him around because he was excellent last year in our year in the championship. Kind of like an emergency backup this year. 5 appearances, grabbed himself a goal, but probably not good enough for this level. Mbuemo, 38 appearances, 7 goals, 11 assists, 22 years of age, the Frenchman. 79 overall. A player I'm kind of expecting more from. I want to do a little bit out on that right wing position. Kind of just change the tactic a little bit. See if I can, you know, make that right wing spot shine a little bit more. At the moment it's not. And whether that's down to the player or the tactic, we're going to have to see. But I would like a little bit more out of Mbuemo next year. But that should still be his spot. Folarin Balogun, 67 overall, 20 years of age, 10 appearances, 2 goals, 4 assists, a free transfer in. He's a good player, but as long as Tony's in the team, just a backup, of course. And here we get to Ivan Toney here, 43 appearances, 47 goals, 19 assists. I mean, what more could you say about the 26-year-old English striker? This is a player we'll talk about next episode, but a player who, if a really, really good offer comes in, we may move on. We'll talk about that, though, as we go forward. This guy right here, we'll just call him Halil. 1 appearance, 22 years of age, the Turkey man. We may send him out on loan, see if we can get him to grow a little bit before we go ahead and possibly move him on. And then Marcus Fors, of course, 22 years of age, the Finn. 10 appearances, 3 goals, 1 assist. Not too bad to have around, but as I said, as Tony is the guy, no one's going to really go ahead and take that spot. As for the squad, we want to bring in another center back for sure. And then I think a lot of the rest of the team is based off any kind of deal we can get, because I want this Brentford career mode to be kind of as realistic as possible in terms of how Brentford do business. In terms of kind of selling players on for high amounts and bringing in replacements at cost. I mean, that is cost efficient and kind of moving on that way. But, you know, we'll see. I'm expecting a really big bid for Tony to come in, so striker might be an option. I'd like a really good backup striker in general. Someone with a little bit more quality than perhaps Fors or Balogun. We'll see on that front. And then, you know, maybe just backup spots for, you know, players like De Silva or Bryant, depending on the type of players that leaves. But Bryant, I want to be the starter here going into the next year. And then, of course, goalkeeper is somewhere we should look to really strengthen as well. So goalkeeper and center back are players I have to buy. I have to buy a really good, or a goalkeeper who's going to be really good at least, and then a center back who also kind of fits that mold. Depending, some backup midfielders, depending on how things go. I may look into right wing a little bit, depending, and then if Tony gets sold, striker as well. But for the moment, I mean, I would like another winger as well. We're talking about right wing. We have Matondo who can play on both sides, but we don't really have a backup for each spot necessarily. We just kind of have Matondo who's backing up both sides, and since we're not in Europe, that's kind of okay. But, you know, a major injury could, you know, cause some problems. And we can look at the hub and see how, you know, some players we had on the list here. We've got a couple of players here. There's a player who can play out on the right. Eze is a player I really like, though. Expensive in midfield. We got a couple of players here, a little bit expensive, some of them. But we're just going to have to take it and go with it as it comes along and see what kind of players we can really bring in here and bring into the club. Right back, we're going to need a backup for as well. Alan Mozo here is a pretty decent option. But, you know, we'll have to see as we go. We'll see what happens next episode, of course. And see what kind... I mean, a lot of our summer is going to depend on what kind of bids come in. It's as simple as that. It's just pretty much how it's going to go as we move into the next year, guys. But that is going to be it. I hope you folks, of course, have enjoyed it. Stay tuned for more. And peace.